Hello everyone, and welcome back, of course, to another Misfits Racing League Circuit Guide. My name is Strifium, and we are here at the iconic Suzuka circuit. It is the Japanese Grand Prix, and to take you through on an in-depth look, it's Mikcow.
Hello everyone, once again to another edition of the Misfits Racing League Circuit Guide series. I'm your host Mikcow, and today I'm going to be taking you around a lap of the iconic Suzuka circuit here in Japan ahead of round 18 of the Misfits Racing League Season 3 Championship. So start finish straight, coming into turn 1, basically completely flat. We want to be turning in around that concrete area, and then as the curb ends, that's when we'll be braking down into 4th gear and then short shift up to 5th at the apex using all of this exit curbing as well. And then we head into the very iconic S section, and the goal here is just to keep the car as straight as possible to not scrub off the speed and lose the balance in the car. So for turn 3, you're going to be coming in 6th gear. Avoid this inside curbing. Unlike last game, it's the first 2 parts of the S's where you really need to avoid the ripple strips, because that will really unsettle the car. So turn 3, 6th gear, then down 1 gear into 5th for turn number 4. Then bring the car back to the right for turn 5, and then down another gear into 5th. If you do decide to shift up to 6th, and then Dunlop turn 7, avoid this inside curb, and then keep the car as straight as you can and try and take it full beans. You might have to lift off slightly if you do feel the car stepping away from you, but that is probably the most technical part of the circuit now out of the way. Now, if you haven't really overheated your tires, we're going to be heading into the 2 Degner corners, which are turns 8 and 9. So for the first Degner, you're coming in at 7th gear, around the 50, just a small lift, dab on the brakes, taking all of the inside curb that you can, and then just before this AstroTurf or ripple strip ends, you're going to be braking for the second Degner. Hopefully you're going to be using all of the track available just to keep the speed up, and then down in the gears, attack the apex once again, and then use the green AstroTurf again on the exit just to maximize the track width as much as you can. Then up through the gears, turn 10, completely flat, bring the car over to this the right hand side, sorry, as we approach the hairpin turn 11. So your braking point for here is going to be right where that red square is that you can see above the Fly Better Emirates sponsor board on the right hand side. Now it's over the timing. You can just see it there on the right hand side of your screen. So braking about where we are now. Important to keep the car as straight as you can to avoid that front locking. Down to 2nd or 3rd gear, preference is up to you. If you do choose to use 2nd, short shift up to 3rd on the apex to prevent the wheel spin, as it's very important to get the most the best exit that you can out of here, because you could be carrying this speed all the way through 200R, otherwise known as turn 12, and then into spoon. So speaking of, getting a very nice exit up through the gears, keeping it tight to this right hand side for turn 12. Just going full beans down this entire section, and then we head into spoon. Spoon can be a very, very difficult corner to get right. So the first part of it, turn 13, the first apex of it at least, are just after the 50-meter board, down into 6th gear, and then just use the downforce of the car. And you want to be aiming for this AstroTurf yet again, and then for turn number 14, the second part of spoon, again down into 5th gear, and you want to be aiming for as late of an apex as possible. So about where we are now, about this line, and then just punch it out, and then use this AstroTurf on the right hand side. Just get the car in a straight line as quick as possible, so you don't have any risk of breaking traction. Then into the very famous 130R. Hopefully we'll be seeing quite a few daring moves during the week, but that one is completely flat out. And then keep the car on this left hand side as we approach the final chicane, the Casio Triangle. So turn 16, braking is about where we are now, about 120 to 125 meters before Again, you want to be hugging this left-hand side, keeping the car in as straight of a line as possible. And then turning in second gear, really attacking the apex curbing. Those two bollards are probably going to be knocked out very, very early on in the race, so it can be quite hard to spot that apex. But yeah, you just really want to be attacking that as much as you can. And then upper gear into third. And then again, taking all of the curb that you can over turn 17. And then you want to avoid this triple strip on the exit for turn 18, hugging the pit lane wall as long as you can, and that will quickly end the lap around Suzuka. So this has been Mikcow with the circuit guide for round 18 Suzuka. I now have my good friend and old colleague Fraser to give us a hot lap, who has very kindly provided a hot lap for us this week. So many thanks to him and his help on this series. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe on the Misfits Racing League channel to stay up to date with all of the Misfits Racing League endeavors. So without further ado, Fraser, take us away through this lap.
Well, everyone, that wraps up this circuit guide, of course, around Suzuka. We hope you found it helpful. Here is, of course, the setup that Fraser used in his hot lap. This is a time trial setup. There will be a few adjustments you can make to make it race ready, but it is a great starting point. We hope you enjoyed the video. If it did, we'll see you next week for the United States Grand Prix.